Hi, I'm Jim N4BFR with the basics from the Hamtech Library, and this week we're going to talk about the DX Code of Conduct. So, after field day, heard some good operating practices, heard some bad operating practices, and thought this might be a great topic to go through and let everybody know kind of what the expectations are. This is a code of conduct, it's not a requirement, but there are a lot of good practices in here, so let's go through the list and see what we've got here. First three in the list, I will listen and then listen again before calling. Great way to make sure you're not stepping on anybody. And a lot of these are going to come down to I want to be able to let the DX station make the exchange as fast as possible to get as many in so I can get my turn as well. So, keeping that in mind, let's go through the other ones as well. I will only call if I can copy the DX station properly. If you can't hear them, if you only hear them partially, if they're garbled, whatever, and there's other people trying to work on them, you're only going to get in the way if you're trying to work them when you can't really hear them. So that's a really basic one there. I will not trust the DX cluster and be sure of the DX station's call sign before calling. DX stations should be really good about giving their call sign out regularly. Make sure you hear what they're saying. Make sure it matches what you see if you're using the cluster. You don't have to use the cluster, but if you're using the cluster, make sure it matches. I've seen plenty of mismatches before, and you'd hate to have what you think is some rare DX in the log, only to have the contact not come back because you got the call sign wrong, because you followed what was in the cluster. So, a couple of good tips there. On to number 4. I won't interfere with the DX station or anyone calling, and never, ever, ever tune up on the DX frequency or in the QSX or listening slot. So if a station works split, that's the QSX slot. Again, don't want to slow people down, don't want to interfere with the other contacts that are being made. Tuning up on frequency is a real pain. It's a pain for you, it's a pain for the DX operator, it's a pain for the others trying to call. That one is a big one in my mind. I'll wait for the DX station to end a contact before I call. Heard a lot of bad practices, and in field day as well. Somebody's trying to be in the middle of a contact, they're having an exchange, maybe they're going back and forth a little bit more, and somebody starts flipping in their call sign. Wait till they're done. Wait till they say QRZ or CQ before you call, or you're pretty sure that you've got their pattern down and you're ready to call. Number 6, send your full call sign. I hear a lot of people going like, my call sign's N4BFR. I hear a lot of people who'll just send the suffix Bravo Fox Romeo, Bravo Fox Romeo. Okay, again, you're slowing things down if you're not sending the whole call. So go ahead, send your whole call. Now, there are some nets out there that will take check-ins just through suffixes. So realize this is an exception here. The default really is to send your full call sign when you're trying to call a DX station. Next set of items on the list, I will call and then listen for a reasonable interval. I will not call continuously. So lots of times if you are, and I've had experience in this, if you are the DX station who's working a pileup, you are hearing a cacophony of calls coming in at one time, and you're trying to pick out one so you can work them and keep going. Sometimes you can get in there and pick out the first because somebody's really fast. Sometimes you've got to just let this group of noise of 10 or 12 or 15 people calling at the same time settle down and take the last one. So there's skill to this, and sometimes being slow and sometimes being fast is good. But if you're in there and you're sending your call sign 4 times on top of everybody else, you're only adding to the clutter, which is why you don't want to call continuously. So that's a good rule to follow. It will make it easier for the DX station to pick you up and to pick others up and keep going faster. So the longer that cacophony of calls is, the longer it will take for the DX station to get more people into the log. So if you can be smart about sending your call, the better it will be for both of you. Number 8 is I won't transmit when the DS operator calls another call sign, not mine. So if I hear them go, I'm N4BFR, if I hear them say, Kilo 4 Echo Charlie, then I will let that station go ahead, and I'll go ahead and take a pause. I won't transmit when the DX operator queries the call sign not like mine. So a lot of times they'll be trying to pick up a call, and the DX operator will go, the station ending in Romeo. That would be a good time for me to call. If he said the station ending in Kilo, well, I don't have Kilo in my call sign, so that would be a bad time to call. So I'm going to skip that and not introduce more noise into the pile up there. The last four, I will not transmit when the DX station requests geographic areas other than mine. I've heard this lots of times on the air, and I've done this lots of times too as I'm working the pileup. I'll say only Europe, and this gives the Europe stations a chance to work my way down before I go back to the US. Or I will say only stations in with threes in their call signs in area 3. This way I can get those areas done. And I'm probably going to be turning my antenna later on and say, all right, now stations with 6 in their call sign, and I'm going to point more to the west, and that's going to give me the opportunity to pick those up too. So listen for operators operating those kind of things. They're helping managing the pileup, and although it doesn't feel like it, it will be faster later, and it will be more likely for you to get picked up when they get to your call area or region area. So number 11, when the DX operator calls me, I will not repeat my call sign unless I think he has copied it incorrectly. Good example was on field day, and I get this a lot. I'm November 4 Bravo Fox Romeo, and lots of times I'll get November 4 Bravo Foxtrot India or something just because there's a lot of noise and it calls. That's when I would repeat my call, and I would just say something like, oh, for November 4 Bravo Fox Romeo, you are 1 Delta Georgia. And the operator on the other end picked that back up and said, okay, fix your call, thanks, and here's your exchange. So that's a nice, easy way to do it. Just make sure they've got your call sign right, because you do want to make that QSO and make sure that it's right for you on both ends. Be thankful if and when I do make a contact. So great to say thanks. There's a lot of, especially when you do these big de-expeditions, which are going to be coming back up again, it's hard to pick up on a lot of people, and these people are spending 4 or 5 hours a day working pileup. So be thankful, take it easy on them. They're trying to do something great for the ham radio community, so be respectful of that, and just respect our fellow hams and conduct yourself so you earn their respect. You don't want to be the guy who's calling and calling and calling and calling on top of other people trying to finish their QSOs. Or you don't want to be the guy who's calling and tuning up in the middle of somebody else's contact. So make things faster for everybody. Follow along with these DX Code of Conduct items, and I think you'll find a little more pleasant way to operate when you're operating DX on HF. So that's the way I do it. It works for me. If you like this, I hope you'll share it with another ham. Please like and subscribe for more videos like this. And 73, we'll see you on the air soon from the Ham Tech Library.